All right, coming in a little bit late. Had some technical difficulties. Game one, Matt versus Alvin. Alvin's got the black pieces, and it looks like Alvin's down the exchange. He's got a knight for a rook. Pawns are equal. No doubled pawns. Looks like this structure is a little, not necessarily weak. I mean, nothing's attacking it. Oh, we got a trade here. All right, so I'm looking around too much. Let's see what happened here. All right. Went for trades, and Alvin's going to be up a knight. Wow, that moved quick. Guessing Matt's either going to, might be looking at resigning soon. He's probably going to strengthen his pawns here. I'd imagine Alvin might try to advance his pawns, swing his knight in, and try to pick off. This is going to get closed down. This isn't really going to be able to move anywhere unless we get the knight. Let's see, knight here. No, he's going to have to come in there. No, how's it? Yeah, with that king there, it kind of stops him. Hopefully Matt doesn't. I don't know if a pawn advance is really necessary. It might end up making stuff weak. He's going to have. Yep. Yeah, knight b4, knight c2. Eventually, he's probably going to wait. No, I was thinking he would have waited for Matt to swing his king over this side and then race his knight over here, looking for a way to reroute and grab this pawn. Yeah. All right. Yeah, he's going to start knocking pawns off at some point. Alvin needs to bring his king in. Let's see if maybe routing. Oh, not there. Obviously, it's pawns. Yeah, he needs to bring his king in. The problem is these two pawns right here. Ooh. All right. So Matt had his pawn here, and this pawn here. It prevents the king from ever coming in. The black king can't get in on this side. He really needs to take advantage of the knight, and it's going to take some rerouting. Whether here. Yep, there he goes. So he's going to do some rerouting. He's got to worry about the king trapping the knight. So the knight could get trapped, I believe, if it ends up on g1, and then the white king were on e3 because it takes away this square. Let's see if the knight were here. Yeah, the knight wouldn't be able to escape. There. The king would have to come f1. Yeah, the queen side's starting to fall apart a little bit. It's all a matter of, hey, maybe if Matt can get in here, but doesn't look likely. We might have a knight reroute here still. Problem is he's got to protect this pawn in time. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to get in there, because even if Matt comes up here, we have this knight. This knight is going to be the savior of this endgame, and we have a runner. That's going to be all she wrote. Captures, run. I mean, he could even be cocky and let that go. Oh, stalemate! Oh, I didn't even see that. I'm not even looking for it. Good game. Wow, that was nice. That was really nice. All right, guys, somebody fire off a rematch. Here we go. Alvin with the white pieces. Oh, I know that stalemate hurt a little bit. All right, we have a queen's pawn opening, d4. Okay, he's opening up. Matt goes with an atypical structure here. Usually with this Queen's Gambit looking structure, it would be knight f6 first. But all right, he's gonna have to either retreat his knight. You don't necessarily want to keep going deeper into the position. I mean, because that could get hairy quick. Yeah, it kind of looks like he might be in unfamiliar territory right here. Unless he's looking to come back and reroute here, then he gets kicked, and then it's night here. Yeah, he's getting kicked. Yeah, he's going to have to do some rerouting. Yep, here, here, here. Yeah, he got a little squirrely with that knight c6 off the rip. That queen side is going to push him around. I could see a break like this, stopping any advances. If he brings his knight in, and then this pawn up for the kick. Let's see. Oh, what did he just? We have a possible en passant here. I don't know if Matt will want to, or excuse me, if Alvin will want to take it. No, he's not taking it. Not taking the bait. All right, we're still rerouting in the knight. And see, how many moves are we in here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, five knight moves in 7 moves. Well, one of them that was the king's knight, but still, yeah. So he's using a lot of tempo here. I mean, he didn't really have a choice. How could he have known that this was going to happen? So it's not necessarily a fault on his part, but if he can get developed and consolidate, it might still be fine for him. We're looking at black possibly castling king side. He's got to find out something to do with his dark square bishop. I'm guessing if he's going to be able to break this pawn at some point, having the bishop on b2 might look good. Yeah, this knight's not looking too bad necessarily. I mean, you've got both knights converging on e4, so things are looking okay there. All right, Matt goes on the attack. He's still not developed. We have this bishop on, on its starting square at f8. Have it's still early for the rooks anyway, but I'd like to see him castle. Maybe it could have been take advantage of this pin. Bring that bishop out instead of the knight. But maybe he's thinking about mating threats. If yeah, okay, he wants to use the discovered attack, but maybe could we possibly have a queen infiltration here? Queen g5. All right, I'm thinking he's probably just going to back the knight. Oh, we do have queen g5. Okay, queen g5. The problem is, there is double protection and a double attack here. But how much is there really? Is there enough to start formulating something? Or are we going to start having the knights come in? Because once this knight drops, we're going to have a second knight attacking here. Maybe the queen backs up. Okay, we have one jumping in. Yeah, the e pawn's gone. Left it hanging. Is there any tricks in the position? Obviously we have to, or not we. Alvin's got to do something about this fork. Oh, this is nasty. Oh, it looks like he only has e1. Yeah, look at this. Oh man, I take back everything I said about Matt's knights early on jumping around. Now they're really killing these squares. Oops. Oh, okay. Really, okay. Let's see how this trade unfolds. This is sketchy. And was I not paying attention to something this whole time? Was I missing the fact that oh yeah, once that knight moved, the queen can't be captured anyway. Unless you go captures, yeah. Yeah, Matt's queen is deep in here, and we have all the pieces still undeveloped. All right, had a check from the queen on e3. king retreats to h1. He's relatively safe on h1. There's not really, I mean, there's no pieces down here in the king side other than the queen. But at the same time, Alvin doesn't really have any pieces going downfield yet either. So this game is still early on. We're still kind of heavy into the middle game. We'll probably see maybe a knight here. Where are we going to reroute this knight? Yeah, okay. The problem is, if he pushes again, he's running out of squares. Okay. Oh, he's looking to break open that king side. Yeah, I was thinking he was going to push the f pawn and then force the knight, because obviously it's blocked by its pieces here. It would have had to get. Okay. Oh, now goes for the push. What do you do? Wow, it's amazing with his pieces undeveloped here. He's still able to kick everything around with these pawn pushes. Okay. Just giving up the knight. And it's amazing that the material is still equal. Okay, so he's giving him a chance to jump, get this knight out of here. Or just capture the pawn too. Yeah, it's not really in any immediate danger. We have if this bishop moves, we've got weak pawns. These pawns are really weak, but okay. We have a queenside castle. Let's see. How can he? Matt's really got this nice move here with being able to push the g pawn, get the bishop on the on g7. Doesn't really have any good pins or discoveries with the light square bishop. All right, we're just pushing those pawns deeper. I think these pawns advancing could really end up being a liability for white, but at the same time, white hasn't consolidated the position yet. So it might be kind of tough. All right, kicking the queen where we have squares here. Nope, not there. Obviously, you don't want to retreat the queen in here. It's starting to get boxed in tight. Yeah, queen g5. All right, so are we going to possibly see some rook stacking action? I mean, this just keeps on pushing. It's going to might have a little pawn break here. Oh, actually, is this bishop getting? No, it's not getting trapped. I was going to say we have all these squares here. That's a nice move, but I don't know if it works. I believe there was a en passant capture here, and it would have broken up. But yeah, that actually worked out nicely for black. We're getting these really nice bishops here, eyeing the H file. And Alvin continues to go for the break. I don't know if you realize it has this weak pawn right here that's going to fall. You might just see a6. So if captures. All right, going for a rook trade. Okay, captures, and then probably this right here. I mean, neither one of them are in any kind of time trouble. They're both using their clocks pretty wisely. Oh, now he's going to end up with doubled pawns right here if he goes for the exchange. I don't know if Matt will go for. I mean, no, he doesn't go for it. He attacks the queen, gets a tempo on the queen. Where's a good square for the queen? Maybe just get into the second rank. It's a shame this queen can't. Oh, he's going for the in-between move, the Zwischenzug, checking the king. See where the king goes before you reroute your queen to a better square. Just make sure you have a good square for the queen with no discoveries. You don't want to think maybe you can come up here and come up here if black's got the bishop e5 protected by the queen. Then you gotta, you know, you're losing all kind of tempo. But I mean, you win the a7 pawn. Okay. Oh. He's got to watch for also trapping in his own bishop, even though it's kind of his bishop's doing his job here. I don't know if maybe throwing in another check there would have been good. Because even if you advance the pawn to block, then you just capture, and now you've got your pawns rolling forward. Yeah, Alvin's pawns, which I initially thought were going to be a huge liability, I guess with Matt's pieces not as coordinated, didn't get to take advantage of it. All right, now what can we see to really break things up, to get that knight active? That knight's doing a great job of blocking any checks coming in. F1 if Alvin ends up using his rook somewhere, you know, if he wants to try to infiltrate. I'm not really seeing any good breaks. I mean, unless he goes for a5 and then b5, b6, and goes for the break here, trying to get a passed pawn. He does have the pawn majority. It's a 4-6 pawn majority. We have they both have 3 pawn islands, but Alvin's pawn islands are a little bit better. What did I miss back there? Oh, I didn't even see that queen hanging. This looks like it's gonna spell disaster for Matt. He's up quite a bit. All right, we have knight captures, bishop captures. All right, bringing in the rook on the weak pawn. He could try to protect the pawn, but he might. I mean, he could start formulating an attack. Yeah, he's gonna let that pawn go. Start building an attack, coming in with. Let's see. No, that pawn's just, or that bishop's just gone. That's a free bishop. But does he see that it's a free bishop? He's hesitating, maybe looking to see if. Yeah, I don't think he realized that was a free bishop. It wasn't mate. King only had f6. Let's see. Let's run through that line real quick. So we would have had captures, king f6, and then queen e6, king g5. Yeah, maybe there's something there. I know, I definitely could have pushed him closer. All right, let's see what's going on. All right, backed out the bishop. And he didn't capture his bishop, doubling up. Maybe he's trying to run Alvin's clock down. Alvin's got a minute 20 left, and Matt's got about 450. So maybe he'll try picking off pawns. He's got his bishop and rook aligned here. Is there any possible mating threats for? Yeah, actually, if Matt could grab this pawn, his bishop, grab the e4 pawn, get his rook down to f2. All right, this would be protected by the bishop here. Check. And would that be a mate? No, because he's got the g2 square, and then come here with check and grab the rook. I mean, that's all pipe dreams. I mean, he'd have to get off 1, 2, 3 moves. Yeah. Ooh. I fell behind. Let's see, let's go back. Sorry, I was too busy analyzing. All right, with bishop up, missed the capture, threaten the bishop, bishop backs out, grabs the pawn. Ooh, pins the bishop. Wow, okay. grabs a pawn with check, f6, check, f5, check, ooh, e5. Still hanging on, going for a king walk. Blocks with the bishop, goes for a trade. All right, so we could potentially see what if rook captures. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's dirty, Alvin. That's dirty. He can't capture the queen. He's got this pin here. So maybe next move he's just going to go for captures. Let's see. There's no way to protect it. Can't get the rook down. Yeah, this is game over very soon. Are there any mate threats? Queen can't come here. Queen can't come here to block. Yeah, I don't say there's no immediate mate threats. This is going to be a matter of knocking off pieces. But the problem is, Alvin's got 19 seconds left. He's way up on material. Oh man. All right, grabs a pawn, grabs the bishop. All right, only uses a second. It's in check. Is he going to block with the rook? Blocks with the rook. Check. Grab the bishop. Okay, we're check. He can't get out of it. Ooh, ooh, that's nice. That's really nice. Oh, grab the rook for check. Wow. All right, so he needs to start closing the box, but he's got to make sure he's not able to block anything with the bishop. He might want to try. If he can't close everything fast enough. Oh, it's looking. Oh, gives up the queen. Oh no. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe if you don't know how to close it, you got to get rid of that piece. Nice game. All right, Matt won by timeout. All right, let's adjust these scores real quick. I believe it's 1.5 to half. Let's see. All right, score is updated. Let's go back to the game. See what we missed here. All right. Got Matt open up with his queen pawn, standard London opening, and Alvin quickly goes for that C pawn. I like doing that same thing, going after breaking up the center. Yep, breaking up the center. Developing the knights. Nice development. Alvin brings his knight in, going after the bishop. Because if he captures it, he's either got to recapture with his f pawn or his h pawn. So Matt's he's gonna recapture with his h pawn, getting the open h file for his rook, semi-open h file. All right, we got both knights converging here. This bishop and the rook. Let's see if he finds it. Both pieces converging here. This bishop, I don't know if it's going to have a long life on this diagonal, because these pawns are really solid. I mean, you can't come here, you can't come here. You're not breaking that up. All right. He's really got to see this. All right, going for exchanges here. Alvin's going to win a pawn in the end, because we're probably going to see captures, and he's getting worried about this open file. You can see the hesitation. We might see knight here, captures a piece, and then a queenside castle. Okay, goes for a check. He's still got both pieces he can block with, and then protected. So he's good here. So any exchanges right now are going to favor black. White really had the initiative. Okay, doubling up. Might we see a kick and just exchange? Okay, going for the check. Block with the knight. If blocks with the knight, you drop the d pawn, so you don't want to do that. Let's see what we have. Might just go for the queen exchange. It kicks the knight, but okay, no. All right, you're giving him time to castle, but you got to protect that knight. So you're either going to see f6 or you're going to see, yep. Oh, drops the piece. Drops the piece. That knight is a goner. Is there any in-between moves to stop this? Nope, that knight's a goner. Alright, drop the knight. He's got the central pawns going for him. Oh man. Needs to get a castle. Oh, you didn't castle. You didn't castle. Alright. Matt's still got his queen, king stuck in the center, and this is going to change the whole landscape of the game now. We got 2 rooks and a knight versus a rook and a queen. Doubled pawns on the G file. It's not really a majority 3 pawn islands to 2, but I mean this is I don't know. I mean it's still a quick game. Anything could happen. All right, piling up. We're probably going to see G1 H2 by the king. It's kind of the only way to get. Okay, F1. Oh, I don't. Because. Yeah, that's now you're getting pushed to G1 anyway. Yeah, it's only move. Matt's gonna hit G1, probably H2. I mean, even the problem with H2, you start getting your back, not the back rank, a little weak. The H file's weak. So gonna throw some checks in, but I mean, you can always get knight to block here. So if it goes King G1 H2. And we might see a resign here from Matt. I don't know. He's probably trying to see what he can do. I mean, he really only has G1. Yeah. So let's see. All right, continues with the checks. I might have tried to get these pawns down here to block the king from ever coming to H3. All right, so we do have G1 H2. Why the rook there? Yeah, you're gonna have to find a way to protect your rook now. You're just gonna have to go. You drop. Why? Oh, you go in between move. All right, I missed the in between move. Yep, and then the knight H4. But do we have any? Is there anything? Back rank's a little open, but I mean, king's got escape squares. All right. Yeah, the king can wiggle out of this. It's not going to be pretty. All right, and then we'll probably see rook E1, double on the E file, so they can protect each other. So there's, you know, you don't end up with a check and grabbing a knight from the queen on a diagonal somehow. Okay, rook E1. The times are similar. We're looking at 7.5 minutes, 6.5 minutes. He just gives up the queen. He doesn't realize you've got nothing protecting it. Oh, you blundered your queen, thinking he was thinking, oh yeah, the knight can't take my queen because the rook's got it pinned. Oh, that's a resigner right there. Oh man. King check. Or excuse me, a rook check, and you can go for a rook check here, but then you just lose them there. Let's see if we got anything. Is he maybe just going to push b3? I mean, the king just runs down and grabs the pawn. No, this is a nice move. Alvin protects this whole rank here. The king cannot escape anywhere on the d file. The knight nicely protects. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Wow, this was a comeback. All right, let's see if he can use these pawns to create a mating net after his rook goes to goes to c5. And his knight can come here nicely. Yeah, he does decide to use the pawns. Very nice. Probably going to see rook b6 here. Okay, no. I was thinking rook b6 blocks any influence from the rook here. Can't capture. Oh, but then you hang the pawn. Duh. Okay, let's see how he can hold this together. Is he going to rook b5? But then I don't think that works. I think that loses to rook b6. I mean, he doesn't lose the game, but you drop a rook. He's got to get this knight involved. All right, yeah. Just bring the king closer, threaten the rook. You drop the pawn, but if we bring this pawn up, captures. This pawn, this rook's protected, and rook right here for mate. All right, knight is in the game. All right, how can we put it to use? Well, oh, duh. I believe you just play rook c6 mate. Yep, very nice, very nice. All right, that's another win for Matt. I think I was getting confused on who had pieces there. All right, they're starting up their next game. Let me update the score, 2.5 to half. Wild game, wild game. All right, let's see what's going on. Let's back it up, see what they opened with. All right, we have a queen's pawn, and Matt goes again for this knight c6. I don't like it. It's kind of like when you go e4, knight f6, and you push the pawn in the Aliakin's defense, and you got to reroute the knight. But he gives back the pawn for. It looks like he purposely hangs the c pawn, but it might be for rapid development. Okay, gets his. Or no, he doesn't hang the c pawn. You got a bishop there. All right, brings the knight out. All right, looks like we're moving into a more normal game. All right. Drops the pawn, giving, the opportunity, queen takes, king takes, and now Matt can't castle. Ooh, that's nice. That's going to be tough because now this bishop is busy babysitting unless the. Oh no, you're going to drop the rook. All right, you got to come back. You got to come all the way back. Otherwise, you're losing this pawn and the rook. All the way back. You gotta bring it back, then you gotta play. Nope, the rook's gone. Because then you gotta play knight d2, knight knight b3, and kick that bishop. Oh, Matt, you're dropping the rook. Oh, okay. He's rerouting this way. He's going to go knight a3, knight c2 to kick the bishop. He's got to move that rook right away. Get that rook out of there. You got two pieces hanging. All right. Is he just going to castle, go for normal development maybe? Okay. Now he's threatening the bishop, but now you're telling him by doing that, by threatening this bishop, you're telling him, yeah, get that. But it's a little late because now. Your only retreat squares. I mean, your best retreat squares right here, and then you recapture with the knight. You get a really nice outpost. Okay, so we're probably gonna this knight. I don't know if it's going to have a bright future here. So it's either going to capture here or he's going to retreat here, hoping to captures and get the bishop to c3. But the c3 isn't exactly a great diagonal, and we have all these pawns stacked up here. Maybe you're going to see knight captures, and now just go in for the check. Oh, he's got the free pawn tempo on the rook. I'm not paying attention for the deeper ranks. Ooh. No longer having the bishop pair. Alvin's got the bishop pair. They're kind of stacked up. I mean, the light square bishop is acting like a tall pawn right now. This bishop is just a pawn, so that's fine. He's going to have to find a way to get it active, whether it's... I don't know if he's got anywhere to reroute it, because, I mean, these pawns, they can't really create a blockade here, but I don't know how much how much it would be doing over here. It's probably better acting on the king side, maybe. Okay, and now he's got a weakness on G7 too, so he's got to be careful. Yeah, I think Matt's falling apart this game a little bit, but he tends to make really nice comebacks. Apparently, he takes advantage of the pins. Ooh, drop the bishop, or the tall pawn. Oh man, and this is what I was talking about. Matt quickly makes a comeback. I mean, right now his material, he's only +1, the equivalent of a pawn. Where we have 2 rooks, a bishop, and a knight, 4 pawns, and Alvin's got a bishop and 2 rooks, but very small pawn majority. And I say small pawn majority because these isolated pawns. I mean this pawn's not really isolated; it can be supported. But yeah, his pawn structure's not. I mean, neither one of them are having awesome pawn structures, but yeah, this is looking dangerous here. He's going for, okay, takes, and you end up with a passed pawn here. Dangerous passed pawn. Don't take with the bishop. Don't take with the bishop. Get the passed pawn. Yes, there we go. All right, Matt gets the passed pawn. He's gonna have to get his rook out of the way at some point. We might. You want rooks behind passed pawns, so you're probably going to see it like a rook d8, maybe even, not play the defensive or passive position, babysitting the h7 pawn. Oh, he's got to look out here, because now we get the chance of the discovery when this pawn advances. All right, we're probably going to see an e5 push, just closing this off. Okay, or trade, you just get rid of the pawn. There's no light square bishop anymore. I mean, I guess he could push here. He's got this pawn protected. You're probably going to see g3. I mean, really, you need to take advantage of every tempo right here. So just pushing g3 just for the sake of it wouldn't help. Yeah. So he's going to keep the pressure on with rook e1. Rook e1. Ooh, he's running out of squares. Oh yeah, he's got to block with the rook. Ooh. Oh no, king f. Don't play king f2. King f2. You have black's going to keep pushing that pawn. Okay, he trades. He's going to give up the passed pawn. I thought he was going to get that pawn in closer. I mean, well now the king can block white's king from coming into the game, but as soon as no, the rook cannot. Yeah, the rook can't get on the e file because of the bishop. All right, so he's going to attack the bishop, and you're probably going to see bishop b6 here. Bishop b6, maintaining the pawns, and meanwhile coming in with an attack on the rook. So go on, bishop b6, and rook d8. Rook d8, support the passed pawn, run it in for queen, and that's game over. It's looking like it might be another win for Matt. Yeah, he's got to get this bishop out of harm's way. Well, the good thing is he's got a piece that can block here. Yeah, he's going to run that pawn in. And the problem is if Alvin gets that rook behind the passed pawn, I mean it can still run, and it'll be protected. Yeah, I guess he's got nothing to worry about. Yeah, he's got to give it up. Yeah, this endgame 101 right here. All right. Yeah, I think we had some bad exchanges early on, and that's hurting him. I might have to make a phone call to Alvin, see if he fixed his board. I know he was playing with some weird funky metal board that's like, it's all grayscale and doesn't have a whole lot of contrast. He definitely hasn't been playing himself. Missing a couple little tactics here and there, which he usually doesn't. But yeah, I mean, that's chess. All right, going into a lost end game here, so probably a resigner. He's doing the right thing, pushing the pawns, but I mean, it's just not enough when you got nothing to support it. Maybe he could be going for another stalemate. He's trying to close the box. You know, just get your pieces out of there. You know, rook and king, checkmate. Don't put yourself in these stale situations. Look at where the king can run. You don't need that pawn. You don't need that pawn to get that bishop out of there. Just back it out. Leave the pawn to do its thing. Ooh. All right. Go for the rook push. You're going to give the king an escape square. Run this down for a queen or a rook. Get this bishop out of there. Leapfrog your rooks over each other for a mate. Yeah, you don't need that bishop. Bring the king in. Support your runner. All right. Got your wide receiver running downfield. Okay, this rook's just going to sit here, cutting off the king. Just run him in. Oh, nuh-uh. And Matt's making moves on our game while playing this one. He knows he's got this one in the bag. All right, you got to get your rook up to f8. All right, up and over. Now, yeah, leave. Okay, he'll get it. Queen here. Yeah, he's got the idea. He's got to push him to the side. He'll get there. Just here's the classic stalemate because the queen cuts off here. Can't go here. Can't get. Yeah, you got to look out for stales. You're letting them run up the board. All right. It's getting tight. Oh, gave it up. Study the end game. You got to study your basic end games. All right. We got a stalemate, so now it's going to be 1-3. Each getting half a point there. 1.0. 3.0. All right, we're going into, looks like it's going to be a similar opening for Matt. Yep, it goes into his London system. All right, trades. So what he gets out of this is, you notice this queen side pawn majority, whereas black has this king side pawn majority. Usually you want your pawn majority away from your king, so toward the end of the game you have a potential of pawn breaks and runners, and you end up getting passed pawn down. I mean that's what you hope for. It's not like a guarantee by any means. All right, so he goes for this pin. I mean if he ends up playing a6, kicking the bishop out to somewhere else, this knight's gonna have to reroute to c2 or find a better home. Okay, takes the pawn, comes here. We see this. I believe we saw this before. Was it Alvin or was it Matt that came in with the we dropped the d pawn. We came in with that knight. Oh yeah, it was Matt. Yeah, Matt takes that and he gets the semi-open h file. And I forget, did that work out? Who ended up capitalizing? Yeah, I believe somebody dropped a piece and it went in the other direction. But there's this bishop's got protection. All right, now we have a double attack on the queen. All right, what's the queen going to do? You might see a queen trade. Rook captures because this knight can't move. It's pinned by the bishop. Yeah, you might see a queen trade here. Okay, backs out. But the problem, you're gonna end up with this pawn island here. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. If it goes for the queen trade, recaptures, you end up with a really weak backward d pawn. It's gonna be hard to protect. It's gonna be a liability for the game. I'd rather have this 3-2 structure on the queen side. The 2 pawns here, 3 here. trade the pieces down. Maybe just go for the check here first. Okay, he grabs the knight, gives himself the option to castle. Doubled up on the A file. Trading off the queens. All right, we have the backward pawn now. He's still pinned though. He's still pinned. We could see, what if the rook here and up, and then you have that, but I mean, it's, yeah, he's too quick. All right, so you probably just see, all right, yeah, he's going for that, but it's not gonna work. Yeah, you're kind of just dropping the pawn there. And now, if you have rook takes, rook takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, and then you end up with these pawns still connected here. Even though this is one of those situations where you'd want an isolated pawn, this pawn to take and run down. All right, missed a couple moves we may have going on here. Yep. Rook takes. All right, you got a doubled pawn. I mean, that pawn wasn't going anywhere. It's stuck behind this pawn the majority of the game. Oh, but it does free up the b3 square. So he's got that check, so he's going to move closer or further away. All right, he stays closer to his pieces. Supports the knight, supports the rook. Not that it can go to the d file and influence anything, because now you have this light squared bishop being a pain in the butt. Yeah, and this pawn is going to have trouble being supported, because right now the knight's supporting it. For the knight to jump out and get this bishop up, you have to let it go. I mean, it's still got the rook on it. Right now it's got a double attack, but it's got a double defense too. A fairly even game. We've was this 5 pawns, 5 pawns. The only kind of real liability here is these doubled pawns here. If he captures, it would have just let him capture it. It just ends up undoubling this, but then you end up doubling on the F file. These will probably break through at some point. All right, where's he going to reroute the knight? Are you going to see this? You're going to see H3 F4, or are you just going to see maybe E4? It all depends where he thinks the knight has a future. All right, comes the E4, thinking maybe it has a future on C3 to try to kick the bishop. I mean, this pawn's weak, but then the king's still supporting it. He definitely, oh yeah, he drops that pawn. Oh, is there any? Oh, there's the check here, but the knight protects the rook. Oh, that'd have been a great discovery. I mean, that just drops a knight. Even if you had it, it would be captures. Yeah, that would have been a good discovery. Pushes the pawn a little far there, I think. I mean, unless he's trying to make this structure here. Where is he going with the knight? Is there any? I don't see any forks. I mean, all these squares are covered. This square is not covered, but I don't see where it could go from there. I mean, even if it rerouted there to throw in a check, you have the knight there. I mean, it's not really... this knight is just staying close to the pieces, maybe seeing if something opens up in some lines. All right, we have bishop captures, rook. Yeah, I think... yeah, I don't know what to think. This is tough. It's an even game right now. Yeah, black's up a pawn, but it's going to be a hard one to convert. Ooh, this works now. Check. Grab the rook. I mean, then it's rook and both have light squared bishops versus knight. Check. Double the pawns. Grab the rook. Rook here. Go after the... weak B pawn. After he pushes it, go after the A pawn maybe. Oh no, you can't do that because bishop. Oh yeah, this is tough. What's he gonna do? Oh, fork town. Yep, there it is. Grabbing a bishop or a rook. Probably the rook, yeah. Now, if he grabbed the bishop, it would have been free. It would have been a free piece. But you gave up your knight for the rook. You're up the exchange, but would you rather had a free piece? So that's what you got to think about. We have, for 1 second, we had tripled pawns on the G file, but it looks like Matt might be pulling through on this game. It went from being fairly even looking to pulling through. He's got the check there. The bishop can't come here to check because the knight, you recapture, undouble pawns, bring the pawn up, and then you fix your structure. But oh, what can he do? What can he do? Check, bishop. Yeah, he's got that same idea here. Bring the bishop here. If knight captures, fix your structure. Oh, but yeah, that getting closer, it's not going to work. It's tough how to convert. Wants to go after that pawn, but the bishop's being a little bit of a thorn in his side right there. Not that either one of them have any hopes of queening in the next so many moves. We gotta get some pieces off the board. Is this push anything? All right, F5 takes now. I mean, maybe he's got to work the queen side majority. All right, trying to kick that. You're just gonna see probably bishop here. Yeah, you're probably just gonna see bishop c6 after this attack. Yeah, bishop c6. All right, Alvin, you gotta make a comeback. You still got a knight. You got forking possibilities. Not until the rook and king get a little closer to each other, maybe. But as of right now, it's not looking good. Let's call Alvin and see if he fixed his pieces, fixed his board. Hey, are you still playing with the messed up board?
Yeah.
do you want to fix it?
No, not right now. I'm still playing.
All right, I got you. All right, say. Yeah, he's still playing with the gray metal board. All right, if you look here, I mean these aren't going anywhere. This bishop. All right, we gotta check here. King up. Yeah, I think grabbing at straws. Do we see any? I mean, unless he knows how to pull off a bishop and knight checkmate that usually takes about 40 moves to coordinate in the middle of this endgame. Yeah, it's not looking good. That knight's gonna be trapped now. Yeah, that knight's trapped. Yeah, that knight's definitely trapped. You come to G2. This knight can only come to these squares now. Let's see if Matt can find it. All right, he's pushing his pawns. He knows he can't get that knight out. His light square bishop doesn't really have a home anywhere. I mean, this bishop was blocked. I mean, it looked like his bishop couldn't go here, 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 here. The only square it had was right here. I mean, he could have went here, but then got the rook and pawn blocking. Yeah, the problem is you just gave up your defense to this b6 pawn. Yeah, the bishop and pawn were protecting each other. Now you want to keep it on light squares. Um, but I mean, there's so much time left on the clock. I mean, you kind of just got to do what you can. Crazy. What's he hoping here for? Just bishop trade? Okay. Not trading the bishops. Now he can actually get this bishop here. It's protected by the knight. I mean, the king can still come in and go after the knight this way. Oh, okay, we're going to see captures, yeah. Bishop captures, king captures. Okay, so we're getting into this end game. All right, then we're going to see capture on b6. Yep. All right, can we find any forks? It's got to keep the it's got to look out for being on a different color square as the knight. Like just now, if he would have went rook e3, he would have had the fork here. He might be able to flag him. If Matt can't find out a solid plan, I mean, it looks like his plan. Yeah, he's going to knock off pawns and run the 8 pawn up now. He can actually get the rook behind the passed pawn, or just sidestep it and run the pawn up. You know, and he's going to have Alvin's going to have to sacrifice the knight. I mean, there's not really any other way around it. Yeah, it's hard because you know, even though there's pawns on the board, they only have one minor piece each. Makes it hard to push for any type of advantage. But yeah, the white's got 2 pawns, 2 passed pawns that can run up the board. The knight can't stop at all. Should mention both playing really nice. I don't know why I'm staring at things and I'm missing a ton of move left and right, hanging pawns and everything. All right, pawns running up the board. Any stalemating possibilities for black? If wonder if the king could get in this corner. Is there any stalemate possibilities? I mean, if we have a rook or a queen come down for a1 check, the king blocks these squares. Yeah, I don't think you want to be in this corner in this scenario necessarily. Maybe if you have, oh, you know what? You put your king on h1 and your knight. You have to time this perfect. All right, so he has to come to f4, e2, g1, and leave the knight right here while the king is on h1. And then when queen swoops down for check, you can't move the knight, can't move the king, stalemate. But it looks like it's going to be too late because now his knight can't block the checks. His knight is pinned. Yeah, he really need to get to that h1 square. Both about 2 minutes left apiece. All right, both pieces converging on the knight. The queen, probably queen takes. Okay, rook takes. And queen f5. We're probably going to see. No? Okay, queen c2. And yep, rook e1 mate. All right, another one from Matt. not looking good, Alvin. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you smoking over there? No, he's got to fix that board for one thing. He's looking at the gray monochrome pieces. Not trying to make excuses, but got to get it together. Get it together, Al. All right, let's see if they're calling it a match or if they're still going. Yep. How many do you guys want to play? All right, let's see if they're gonna do any more. It doesn't look like there's a rematch going. All right, looks like it's they're gonna call it quits. Good game, guys. Hopefully we'll have a rematch in the near future. Usually Alvin, I would say, has the a bit of an edge, but not this time around. That's how chess works. But good game, guys, and we'll see you next time.